Hey learners, welcome to Ahmad Coaching and I'm your teacher Dr. Anam. Today we are going to study about excretion in plants. Excretion word is made up of two words, ex and cretion. Ex mean out while creation means shift or separate. In other words, excretion mean to separate something and then move it out. If you talk about the definition of excretion, excretion is the process by which metabolic waste and other non-essential materials they are eliminated from an organism's body. One thing is very important whenever you are talking about excretion, you are always talking about the elimination of metabolic waste which is produced during the process of metabolism. No other waste is removed by the process of excretion, only the metabolic waste. For example, carbon dioxide in case of human, oxygen in case of plants. So all these waste materials they are removed by the process of excretion. In plants, excretion refers to the process of eliminating waste products and other substances that are no longer needed for the plant's metabolism or growth. While plants they do not have organs like kidneys or lungs which are present in human and involved in the process of excretion, they have different mechanisms as well as some organs which help them to get rid of the waste material which are produced during the process of metabolism. If I categorize excretion in plants, I will categorize it into two types. One through organs, one through different processes. When I talk about excretory organs in plants, it involves stomata and lenticels, while in case of processes which are involved in excretion, they include root exudates, leaf abscissions, resins and gums. Let's study each of these points one by one, starting with the stomatas. Stomatas they are small pores which are primarily found on the surface of the leaves. Normally they are found on the lower surface of the leaves and they are like small pores. Here you can see these small pores, they are bordered by the guard cells which are bean like structure here. The purpose of guard cells is to control the opening and closing of stomata, to regulate gas exchange as well as water loss. So how stomata they are involved in the process of excretion? First of all, stomata they release oxygen which is produced during the process of photosynthesis as a byproduct. Photosynthesis is a process in which carbon dioxide and water they combine together to form glucose, water and oxygen. In this case, because this is a metabolic process, the oxygen is a byproduct because during the daylight, the amount of oxygen produced by the process of photosynthesis exceeds the requirement of plants. So this waste material it is removed out of the plant's body through stomata. The second waste material which is removed by the stomata involves water vapors. These water vapors they are also produced through the process of photosynthesis. So these water vapors they are removed out of the plants through stomata by the process of transpiration. The third thing is removal of volatile organic compounds. These volatile organic compounds they are also produced during different metabolic processes. They are not required by the plants, so they are removed through the stomatas. These compounds they are produced as a defense mechanism against herbivores or pathogens such as fragrances or defense chemicals. Along with this, carbon dioxide is also removed by stomatas. The carbon dioxide is actually produced by the process of respiration and it is produced during the night, not during the morning time. So stomata they are involved in the removal of oxygen, carbon dioxide, water as well as volatile organic compounds. The second organ which is involved in the process of excretion is lenticels. Lenticels, they are corky porous structures which are found in the bark of woody stems and roots. Here you can see this is a bark of a tree, and this part here, this porous or corky structure here, this is known as lenticels. They are like scars which are present on the stem or as well as on the roots. They serve as the passive opening for the gas exchange between internal tissues and external environment. So what is actually happening? Different gases which are present in higher concentration inside the tissues, they are just removed from internal organs, internal tissues to the outside environment through these pores. If we talk about how these are involved in the excretion, so the lenticels, they facilitate the exchange of gases like I just said. For example, oxygen, carbon dioxide and ethylene gases. They are removed from the plant's internal tissues to the surrounding atmosphere. This exchange allows for the removal of excess gases which are produced during the metabolism as byproducts. As well as these lenticels, they are also involved in the removal of volatile organic compounds which are also the byproducts of metabolism. Then comes towards the processes which are involved in the excretion process. The first one is root exudates. Root exudates, they are organic compounds which are released by the plant roots in the surrounding environment. So here we have roots, and these roots, they are going to remove the organic compounds in the surrounding environments. So what kind of compounds they can release? Starting first of all, organic acids as well as secondary metabolites, they are removed or excreted into the soil through root exudates. This excretion helps plants maintain the internal metabolic balance by removing excess or harmful substances. So here you can see the organic acids as well as some secondary metabolites which might be volatile fatty acids. They are removed out of the plant's body into the surrounding environments, as well as some volatile organic compounds. They are also removed into the soil, because these compounds, they act as the signaling molecules. So what they are going to do, they are going to attract the beneficial soil microbes which might include fungus or rhizobia, and they are going to form a symbiotic relationship with the plants, in turn helping the plants in nutrient uptake as well as enhancing their growth. So this is how this excretion process is actually involved in the growth of plants. Then comes the leaf abscission. Leaf abscission is the process by which plants, they shed their leaves, typically in response to environmental cues such as seasonal changes, drought or nutrient stress. So in autumns, when the leaves, they are falling, this is actually leaf abscission. By shedding older and damaged leaves, plants effectively excrete waste materials and recycle nutrients stored within the senescent tissues. Senescent is actually a programmed aging process which is characterized by the breakdown of cellular components and the accumulation of waste products. So what actually is happening here, the leaves, they are actually working as the senescent tissues. What actually happened here is that because of the aging process, the cellular compartments or cellular components, for example mitochondria, nucleus or any other material which is present in the cell, is going to be broken down, and the waste material produced during that process is stored in the leaves. And when the autumn comes, these leaves containing all the waste materials, they removed out of the plant's body by the process of leaf abscission. This process ensures efficient resource allocation and contribute to overall plant's health and longevity. So this is how the plants, they get rid of their waste material and protect themselves from any kind of damage or harm. The last process involved in the excretion includes resins and gums. The resins and gums, they are complex mixtures of organic compounds. When we talk about organic means they contain carbon and hydrogen and oxygen. These compounds, they are produced by the plants typically in response to injury or stress. For example, at anywhere if some kind of cut happens, to protect themselves, the plants, they are going to produce resins and gums at the site of the injury. Plants excrete resins and gums as a defense mechanism against the pathogens, herbivores, and environmental stressors. So we know if there is an opening, there are 100% chances that some pathogens or some bacteria, they can gain entry into the plant's body. So to protect themselves as a defense mechanism, they are going to produce resins and gums and then going to cover that cut with them so that these pathogens, they do not gain entry inside the body. And if there are any pathogens, they are going to encapsulate them and also going to seal off their wound. By excreting resins and gums, plants effectively remove potentially harmful byproducts, reducing their impact on cellular metabolism and physiology. At one side, plants, they are going to protect themselves with the resins and gum. At the other sides, they are also going to get rid of the waste material through resins and gum. So this is the excretion in plant, in which organs like stomata and lenticels are involved, while different processes like root exudates, leaf abscission, and resins and gums are involved. If you have any other question related to this topic, let me know in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video.